Hey guys, it's Gmo. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about drone laws in Singapore in 2023 and what you need to know in order to fly your drone both legally and safely within the country. So I've got some questions from people when I post drone footage on social media about whether it's legal to fly in Singapore. Are you even able to fly in the country at all? And the short answer is yes, you are. And there are some good places for you to fly and get some nice footage, but you need to make sure you're familiar with the laws and regulations in Singapore for flying a drone. As you know, it's a strict country, so it's really important that you follow these rules and that you're aware of these rules before bringing your drone into the country, or if you're already living here and you want to fly your drone just for fun, you should definitely be aware of these rules that I will detail for you in just a bit in this video. So the first topic you need to be familiar with is drone registration. So drone registration in Singapore is all based on the weight of the drone. So if your drone is under 250 grams, you don't need to register your drone. You are just able to go fly it right away. If your drone is over 250 grams, then you need to register your drone with the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. So if you're operating a drone like the DJI Mini 2, that is under the 250 gram registration limit, then you're good to fly in Singapore. But if you're using a drone like mine, like the DJI Mini 3, that's over the 250 gram weight limit, then you need to register with the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. And how you do that is you go online. I'll include the link in the description of this video. You register your drone there. They will send you a sticker in the mail. It might take 3 to 5 days for you to receive that. You put the sticker on your drone somewhere visible, and then after that sticker is on the drone, you need to go back online and put in the specs of your drone, things like the serial number of the controller, the serial number of the drone itself. So it is a two-step process. So if you're traveling to Singapore and you need to register your drone, it might be a good idea to do that registration ahead of time. So the second topic that you need to be aware of are no-fly zones in Singapore. So most of Singapore, unfortunately, is covered by what we call no-fly zones. So no-fly zones include 5 km radius from any airports, so not just your commercial airport, but also military airports, as well as military training areas, government buildings, private property, and national parks. However, there are specific designated areas where you can fly your drone, and some of those areas luckily include areas like Marina Bay, where you can get nice footage of Marina Bay Sands and some of the architecture within the city. So you should definitely be aware of these no-fly areas. So how do you know where you can and you can't fly? Well, on the DJI Fly app, the one that you use when you're operating your drone, you can see these no-fly areas on the map. And the app will actually let you know if you're entering one of these or if you're even close to the no-fly area. There's also other apps that you can use. I use FlyWhere. It's pretty good. It will let you know based on your current location or any location you choose, whether you're in a no-fly area and which area that is. So I would definitely be careful and be vigilant as to what area you're flying in, because with Singapore's strict laws, it is not something you want to mess around with or make a mistake with. So the third point that I want to discuss would be height limit restrictions. So there is an altitude restriction in Singapore, and that is 60 meters or about 200 feet above sea level. So that is the max that you can fly. And I know this is a bummer because the higher you go, usually the better the drone footage. But in Singapore, this is the strict height limit that you need to follow when you're flying your drone. And in the app itself, the DJI Fly app, it will notify you if you go above 60 meters, and it will give you a warning, or you'd have to acknowledge that you're okay to fly higher and proceed. So this is also something you need to be aware of when you're flying your drone, that there is a height limit restriction in Singapore. And there are ways to get approval to bypass this height limit, for example, but you would need to apply for what they call an activity permit with the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. That is something that maybe I'll cover in a later video, but this video is strictly for recreational hobbyists who are flying their drone in Singapore for fun. But there are kind of additional options for getting permits to fly in some areas that you may not be able to fly normally. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you got some value out of it, and I hope you now understand the laws and regulations on flying drones in Singapore. And if you like this video, stay tuned for more videos I put out. This is actually the first one I've done, so I'm hoping to do some more videos in the future. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments, and enjoy flying in Singapore.